Is your Discovery 2 TD5 losing its top end charge? Lacking performance? I'm going to show you guys how to replace your injector harness. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be doing a injector harness on my TD5 Discovery 2. First things first, I'm going to show you guys how you can find out if it is your injector harness or not. Pretty good way, pretty simple way too. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the battery and then pull our ECU out, which is easy enough. So give me a second, I'll just do that. So now you've got your ECU out, battery disconnected, ECU out, and as you can see here, there's a lot of oil in that plug. Now, you might be wondering why there's a lot of oil in that plug. And also over here on this bench, we have the ECU, which you can see is literally dripping in oil. Now, this is caused by your injector harness failing. Now, what it does is inside here, you have your injector harness, which I'll grab one out of a box for you quickly. Okay, got one here. This is a kit from eBay, which I think cost about £34. I'll link it in the. I'll put a link to it in the comments, just so you guys can find the exact same one. And it ships pretty fast as well. So here it is. This is your injector harness. Simple enough, and that's your rocker cover gasket. Make sure you get that as a kit. If you want to go that extra step, get the rocker cover bolts as well and replace them, because they have foam on them, and over time they can. If they use them too many times, they'll get really bad. So what happens in the rocker cover is the pressure with the oil builds up and it pushes the oil up through the insulation of the wires and pushes it down the whole wiring loom. So it pushes it from the plug on the rocker cover itself all the way through the harness, all the way around and through into this red plug, which is really not good. And also that's what's causing your D2 to lose its performance at the top end of its rev range. So now we're getting into it. I'm going to show you what tools you need, and some you might not, but this is just what I would suggest having with you. So we've got our gasket, our injector harness. Now with the gasket, what I need to stress is you have two different TD5 engines. You have a 10p and you have a 12p engine. Now I have a 10p because it's pre 2000, I want to say, or 2001. I'll put it on the screen because I'm not sure which one it is at the moment. But if it's pre, it needs to be a 10p gasket. If it's after, it needs to be a 12p gasket. The listing will say it on eBay. It will say if it's for a 1998 to a 2001 or whatever. Just make sure you get the right one for your year. So, got our gasket, right one for our year. Injector harness. I'm pretty sure these are all the same. We've got a pair of pliers, a couple of pairs of pliers, just to get stuff off. We've got a extension with an 8mm socket, a little ratchet spanner with a, what's this, a 13 on it to get the battery out. Got this for Jubilee clips. Got a couple of screwdrivers just to, if we need to pry anything. Rags, gloves, electrical contact cleaner, which is a must, and some engine degreaser just to have a clean, because my rocker cover is disgusting. So now we're going to crack on, get into it, and show you guys how to do it all. So first things first, for my truck, I'm going to give it a bloody good clean, because as you can see, rocker cover is disgusting, and I just don't want to get nasty, greasy, sooty horribleness everywhere. So I'll stick you on the other GoPro, and we'll crack on. So now we have that all done, all cleaned up, cleaned around the edges, just make sure there's not too much gunk. Now you can see our little 8mm bolts and back there. Those ones back there are notoriously hard to get to, but with a little extension you should be fine. So now what we'll do, we'll grab the ratchet and we'll start taking it all off. So there you go, you have your rocker cover off. There it is, the heart. And here is your injector harness plugs, and then this big plug here. So we've taken the rocker cover off, it's sat over here. You can see the gasket's still on it, so we'll pop this gasket off. Give this guy a clean up, give it just a bit of an inspection as well, just to see what weird things that shouldn't be there are in there, and just, you know, have a general look in there, see what the wear's like, see how it's looking on the inside. She don't look too bad in there, to be honest. I think this car could just benefit from some fresh oil, this injector harness, a proper EGR delete, and just some general maintenance that we'll cover in some later videos, and also maybe some upgrade parts to go with its map. But let's see. Let's get this injector harness out, and then I'll show you guys how to fit the new one. We'll also give it a quick clean up while we do our time lapse. So. So now we have the injector harness unplugged, all cleaned up in here. Cleaned the bung, as you can see. We've also sprayed that. If you have access to an airline, which I do, but it doesn't have a water trap, so I'm a bit worried about using it and blowing water down through, take it and blow it into this plug, and you will blow some of it through into this connector and blow some of it out. But for now, I'm just going to soak this connector. You look at the amount of oil coming out of that. Oh my god. So I'll just tuck that down there now, just give it a... Now obviously this contact cleaner will dissolve and, well, not dissolve, evaporate, and it will be fine and dry. These are the bolts and little foam washers, or rubber, that have come out of the rocker cover. They don't go in a specific order, so don't panic about mixing them up, just don't lose those rubber washers. So now we've got our rocker cover over here, as you can see. So I've taken the old gasket off, binned it. I'm going to give this a clean, so I'm going to take it outside, blast it with this, give it a quick rub down, and then we'll chuck the new rocker cover gasket actually on the engine and then put that on top of it. That's just how I do it because I don't have another person to help me. Or what you can do is you can clean this very well, get a bit of silicone that into that, and then drop it on. But I'm just going to do it the way I've always done it. It works to an extent, but just make sure everything's lined up correctly. But clean it out and then we'll go stick it. So giving the rocker cover a good clean, it's over there drying in the corner now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our new injector harness and we're going to plug it in here. I'm going to show you guys how to plug that in. It's easy enough. It's a really easy job, to be honest. We'll chuck you onto that camera there, plug it on in. Let's go. So you've got it all back in, it's all back together. I don't know how much of it I'll show you guys of me fitting this gasket because I made an absolute mess of it. But it's all in there now. So you just go around, check, make sure it's all sat how it should be, all looks good, all the bolts are tight. I tried to do it in a diagonal pattern and then I think there is a specific torque setting and also tightening pattern, but I don't know it. I'll see if I can find it on Google and put it up for you guys. So that's all done. You've plugged in your injector harness. Make sure you plugged it back in because that could be an issue. You've cleaned everything. And then obviously you're going to want to clean your ECU plugs out because ECU plug full of nastiness. So you just take your, give it a good clean. Give it a tip out as well. Just leave that to dry for a minute and then plug it back in. We'll connect the battery back up and then it's time for a test fire to make sure it still runs. Fingers crossed it does because this is my only way home. So now it's all back in, everything's plugged back in, ECU's in, battery's hooked up, harness is plugged in. Now it's time for the moment of truth. So wiggle, neutral, turn that key, fuel pumps that prime in. Fingers crossed. And we have liftoff. Seems to be happy. Seems to be purring away. We'll just have a quick watch for a second, make sure we don't have any drastic oil coming out or any major leaks, just to make sure everything's running smoothly. But all looks good. So the only way to know if it's made any difference is get out there, get a test drive, see if you've got the top end charge back. Hopefully you have. Hopefully this video has helped you guys. If you want to see me work on this more and find out more on how to do other things on this truck and replace key parts that go wrong on these vehicles, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the bell so you know when I post some stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one.